Today we're making a BLT with homemade mayo. It's just a BLT. So the first step, and this is just sort of how to cook bacon in general, just forever. Ooh, he kind of twisted this up when he gave it to me. This is from my butcher. As you can see, some thick cut bacon. So select the bacon of choice and put it on a rack. Like I said, this is from my butcher, but I also like Wright's brand bacon. That's pretty good stuff. Every time I cook bacon in the oven, preheat it to about 350. We want this to render nice and slow, I guess. A lot of the bacon grease is going to render out of this and fall down to the bottom. I have this on a quarter sheet that's covered in foil, so I don't have to clean it. A rack that conveniently fits like snugly around my quarter sheet. I didn't buy these together. This is just happenstance. And then fresh cracked black pepper on the bacon. And that's it. This just goes into the oven until it is crispy. At 350, it could take, depending on your vessel, how much bacon you do, it could take between 15, 25 minutes or so. So when this is about to be ready, we're going to put everything else together. But in the meantime, we're going to make homemade mayo. Those go in. We'll set a timer for 15 just to look at them. And then let's make mayo. All right, we're gonna make some mayo. This is an egg. Just crack an egg into the bottom. I'm using an immersion blender. This is the easiest way to do it. You could also use a whisk and just whisk the shit out of this. But I'm not gonna do that. Smash your garlic. Skins pop off, throw it in. Done. Okay, next up, you could use white vinegar, apple cider vinegar, any kind of thing like that. I'm going to use lemon juice, about the juice of half a lemon. You could also do a combination if you don't feel like you have enough acid in this. I think this gives it a nice fresh taste, but if you want something closer to store-bought, I would use the vinegar. They also last a little bit longer in your fridge. All right, we also need some salt, just a pinch of salt, will be plenty. Some pepper. I'm gonna put some smoky paprika in here. You don't have to do that. You could also add like Dijon mustard to this. You could do some other stuff, but as you can see, like, it's just an egg with some stuff in it. Now what we're gonna do is, this is some like mild olive oil, some very light olive oil. If you have like a deep, rich, like bitter olive oil, I wouldn't use olive oil. I would use something like vegetable oil, rapeseed oil, something like that, something mild. But this is gonna be good. So we're gonna add almost to the cup line of oil. And this is all that mayo is an egg and some oil. Okay, so take the immersion blender, stick it in the bottom, turn it on. This is gonna come together fast. All right, and there you go, there's mayo. You can see that it's mayo-y now. All right, let's taste it for flavor. Make sure you got the seasoning right and everything. Should do it right off this. Oh yeah, man. I mean, that's mayo. So we're gonna put this on the sandwich. That's how easy it is to make. If you like mayo on your stuff, there you go. Like I said, you can modify this a little bit. If there's not enough salt in it, add salt and stir it around. You can also whisk things into this. If you want to add more garlic and go with a garlic aioli situation, add more garlic, dude. Go crazy. Add chipotles to this. Add jalapenos. Anything can go in this. It's mayo, man. Really good. Okay, so we're gonna wait for our bacon to finish, and then we're gonna build a BLT. Okay, we're gonna prep the stuff for the sandwich. This bacon's gonna be done in a few minutes. These are just romaine hearts. I cut the vein out of the middle. It's a little too crisp for what we're going for. We just want a thin slice. It'll just give us a better texture. You just need to take a nice thin approach to it. I wouldn't suggest buying bag lettuce. It goes bad faster. You gotta use it really fast. And it's just lower quality. Just take the time to cut some lettuce. This is particularly dry, but sometimes you get lettuce from the store and it's all wet and stuff. I would take this and put it in a salad spinner if I needed to. But now you have like sort of like haystack things going on. This is gonna really help the texture of your sandwich, help it hold together, and make sure that you don't have one of those bites where you just like pull a bunch of shit out. This is some bakery bread from a local baker. It's my favorite bread. I grew up with this stuff. It's awesome. We're just gonna toast that like normal. We want, this is just barely out of season, I guess. It's a little early for tomatoes, but these come from, I think, Canada. This is where my butcher shop / deli had some. So there is a proper way to prep tomatoes. You can cut them whichever way you want, but we want to do thin slices. Just enough to cover the sandwich. If this was a in-season, like, heirloom tomato, I would do big, thick slices. Okay, I don't want that heel. I've made many tomato sandwiches in the past. In fact, in the summertime, we'll make some more homemade mayo. Maybe we'll make a different kind of aioli. And we will eat a tomato sandwich the way I grew up making them. Okay, so very important step, do not skip for BLT, is to salt the tomato slices. I also like to add pepper. You need to do this ahead of time before you assemble the sandwich so that the salt has time to get in there and season the tomato. You can also do a thing, which I often do, which is this. Just put the lettuce on top. It might seem stupid, but what's going to happen is those tomato juices and stuff are going to start to pull out of the tomatoes. And it's going to create sort of like a dressing that happens with this. It's going to lubricate the sandwich better. Also, a piece of salted tomato for you. This bacon is just about done. You can see that we're getting close. In fact, let me show you. Let me show you what we're looking for. This has been about 20 minutes, a little bit over. Might be faster or slower depending on the temp you go. So what I'm looking for is crispy bacon. You can see that it still has bend to it and flop. I'm going to actually flip this with my hands. It's not that hot to the touch, but you know, if you linger for a while, that the fat rendering off these little bubbles, those are hot. So I just flip it partway through and then pop it back into the oven. And what I want is for when I pick this up, for it to hold straight like this. I want crispy bacon, although right out of the oven it might not do that. Usually I have to cool down a little bit, but we're gonna give this, I don't know, 8 more minutes or so when it looks like this. This is for my doneness. If you're happy with floppy bacon, by all means start making your BLT. I think that's inferior. I think you need crispy, delicious rendered bacon. By the way, you can see in the bottom all this very clear bacon fat. You can render, because you rendered this, you can save this at the end and keep it for other cooking applications. This is part of the reason I do it. Also, I mean, bacon's just better like this. All right, let's put it back in the oven. That's gonna keep going. About 8 more minutes, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. We'll see. I'm gonna set that just for a reminder for me. But I'll be back. And when this is about done, I'm gonna start toasting the bread, and then put the mayo on, we'll assemble our BLT. All right, this is what we're looking for. Oh yeah. Nice and crispy. There you go. Let's see. First thing we want to do, this is what I do every time. I like to dab, keep that for myself later. I like to dab the bacon. I don't want this just sitting on it. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I feel like bacon's already heavy enough. We don't need every little speck of grease. You can also just like pop this throw this on a paper towel on a sheet or something. Also, this is like if you're making bacon bits or something, just take this, stack them, and then cut them up. But we're not. We're making a BLT, so I'm just going to cut them in half. So I have like construction shingles. We are going to assemble this correctly. So we toast the bread, of course. We got to try the bacon, obviously. Maybe this part right here, just to get you a texture idea. That's what we're looking for. It melts in your mouth. It also holds up, gives some texture, which is really nice. That's kind of what we're looking for our BLT. In fact, you could probably just put it all on top of this. There you go, chef snack. Chef always gets a snack, okay? You're working hard. You deserve it. We got our homemade mayo here. There you go. Look at the consistency of this. Took 2 minutes. It's brilliant. As it sits around, that garlic comes through very well, so you really don't need that much of it. It seasons more thoroughly, of course. Very delicious stuff. Don't eat spoonfuls of mayo. I mean, I guess you can eat spoonfuls of mayo, but, you know, normally just taste a little bit. Just taste a little bit. All right, this is done. Nice and toasty. Match them up. All right. For every sandwich in the whole world, when you're putting, especially when you put like wet components on here, you want like a fat barrier on the bread, which in this case will be mayo, that keeps it from sogging up. So don't like, I mean, I guess on a BLT it's a little straightforward, but you know, on like a turkey sandwich, a sub sandwich, maybe a melt or something, I don't know. People don't construct sandwiches correctly. There is thought that needs to go into it. Think about how things are going to slide around on there. Very important. All right. Mayoed. Now what I like to do is a layer of the tomato. Okay. You can see we have the tomato insides there. There we go. Plenty of tomato. You might not need it all. You can also add more if you want. I'll just put it all on there. And then we want our haystack. You see how nice and easy that goes on? We don't have to fight with it. We don't have to get our gams all up in it. Worry about everything. All right. And then just on top, let's get our nice, intentionally laid layers of bacon. You know, we're not just haphazardly. In fact, I'm going to put this one around because it makes more sense for the shape. And then just put these two on. And there we go. Look at that. A BLT. And of course, because triangles taste better, take the BLT and cut it into a triangle. So you can taste it better. There we go. A delicious BLT. Homemade mayo. Everything you could ever want in the whole world. I'll tip it a little bit as you see the cross section. Amazing homemade mayo. All right, time to eat. Here we go. Texture check. And you see how stuff isn't sliding all over? Like we take a bite and the sandwich stays in place. This is how you make a BLT, man. Way better in the summertime when you have fresh tomatoes and stuff, but a man's gotta eat. All right, go make mayo. Go make mayo. Homemade mayo, dude. Look at that. Delicious. Thick, creamy, ready to go on anything.